Right then, it's a quick walk around video for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel. You can see here it's a 57 plate car, but this is not your normal CR-V, just 26,000 miles from new on this car. Very, very, very rare find indeed. I'll just go around the car for you. It's very clean as you'd expect. Lights and lenses on the front there, absolutely as clean as a whistle. Front bumper again, really very, very nice. I'll try to do this without the sun and the shade and the shadows catching over it, but the bonnet is very, very clean. Hardly a mark of any note to be seen. Then come down this near side, you can see absolutely mirror smooth on the panel work there. Front wing as clean as a whistle, as is front alloy there as well. So it's just one little mark on one of the spokes that I can see to give any indication that it's used at all. And then down this panel work, so really, really, really crisp on the panel work. We've not polished it; it's just been washed, which suggests that, you know, the natural luster of the paintwork is really very good indeed. Again, which you'd expect given such low mileage. Around the bumper corners, all as clean as a whistle. And then round to the off side of the car, which again is absolutely mirror smooth on the panel, but there's no little sort of dimple dents, car parking dinks or anything on there at all. Side rear alloy, very, very clean. And then fine alloy on the front there, absolutely as clean as a whistle as well. So externally it's exactly what you'd expect with such a low mileage. It's in absolutely beautiful condition. Let's come into the back now. It's got its full complement of equipment in the back here, so tonneau cover on the top there, middle shelf, and your hard wheel cover there as well. Storage area cover that just retracts back. This middle shelf, again, I say in all the videos, I don't see any great points in them personally, but I'm sure some people must. If you noticed here, sorry, I should have pointed out, that shape there, absolutely identical to the shaping here. So if you don't want to have it up in the middle shelf, sort of getting in the way of yourself, then you just pop that shelf down into the bottom there just to stow it out of the way so it doesn't rob you of any boot space. But absolutely cavernous in the back here. They are huge, huge boot areas. Coming to the back, rear door card on offside here, clean as a whistle. Back of the seats, again, very, very clean. You know, this is a family car, so you do tend to find these sort of back seats can be sort of kicked around a bit by sort of unruly kids. And then leatherwork, as you'd expect, in very, very nice condition. There is absolutely huge amounts of rear legroom, as you can see there as well. But underneath the seats, I don't know whether I can show that to you. Got that little bar here, but then that brings the seat forward another good sort of 7 or 8 inches if you want to increase the amount of boot space on offer to you. Just quickly show you in the back. I don't normally do this, but you know, it's just such a clean car. Even the carpeted areas under the rear seats, when they're flipped forward like that, look absolutely as new. I mean, it's absolutely remarkable. And obviously those seats sort of stay up in that position for obviously when you want to maximise the ultimate sort of boot space in the car. Coming to the front, driver's door card, looks almost as new as you'd expect again. All the footwell areas all in beautiful condition. Driver's seat, again, absolutely no sign of any obvious wear on there at all. It really is amazing. Just come across this passenger seat here, again equally hardly looks as though it's ever really been sat on. It's in wonderful condition. And just above our heads here, obviously EX specifications. You get this lovely big panoramic roof, flick of a switch, blind open to allow loads of natural light into the vehicle, and then flick it again to close the roof if you so wish. So I sat in the car now, obviously the engine's running as it has been all the way through. Passenger door card again looks absolutely as new, and the whole of the dashboard is in quite beautiful condition, as you'd expect quite clearly given the mileage of the vehicle. And as you can see there, sat nav all works exactly as it should. Never pop the car into reverse. A lovely clear parking camera on there as well. Coming down further, climate control system all working exactly as it should as well, and gear gator in beautiful condition. I'll just pull that forward so you can see more clearly. but again, just really nice. And then come down the center console area, just, you know, it looks pretty much factory fresh. As it was across the main binnacle, and as I've driven up that lane, it has literally just turned 27,000 miles dead on. How about that? There we are. So it's no longer 26,000. I do apologise. It was about a few hundred yards ago. Auto lights, auto wipers, multifunction steering wheel. Again, all looks and feels exactly as new in your hand, and also the switch gear again, all, you know, just beautifully presented. I'll just quickly show you here. Full lock and wheel nut set is here and present with the car, and the full owner's manual pack with both car and navigation manual is here and present with the car. Finally, under the engine bay, as you'd expect, as with the rest of the car, absolutely fantastic condition. Brilliant engines, no DPF filters on these, no cam belts either, they're cam chain driven. Reputation for being incredibly strong and long lasting with just regular servicing. What will follow this video will be a road test of this very car. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel. This particular car is registered OV57ZLU, and mileage at the start of the road test is 26,992 miles. So, as you'll know from the previous walk around video, this is an exceptionally low mileage car. Reason we do the videos is very simple. We want customers to see them in operation prior to coming to see us. You know, it can be very frustrating to go and see a car which seems to fit the bill, only to find out that it's got a fundamental fault which you clearly should have been told about prior to going to see it. And that's why we do this. We want you to see them in operation, and if there's anything on the vehicle you need to know about, I will, and I do report it back to you. Road test is also done on exactly the same road test route as any prospective buyer will go on. It's quiet, lovely country lanes around here. It's a lovely part of the world. We're blessed to be here. But it also means that any test drive, you know, is stress-free. Really, it's we used to be in the centre of Bristol many years ago, and it was horrendous. Nothing wrong with the city, but obviously road tests in unfamiliar cars would be a bit scary, to say the least. So starting with the engine of the vehicle, obviously low mileage like this, you'd expect it to be good, and it doesn't disappoint in any way. Engine starts absolutely instantaneously. Very even, very subdued idle on the car. Absolutely rock solid as well, rock steady rather. There's no warning lights on the dashboard of the vehicle relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge, and the engine's been running for some time now, running at a third, which is exactly where it wants to be on any Honda car, whether it be petrol, diesel or otherwise. But the engine is sweet as a nut, it really is, pulls really nicely. It's a perfect match to the pardon me, for the car. You know, it gives it plenty of poke, but obviously, you know, it's very economical as well. You know, you should easily exceed 40. You know, some of my customers are getting, you know, closer to 50, but you know, I always kind of err on the side of caution, always have done. But you know, 40 should be easily achievable. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch is smooth in operation. Bike point is exactly where it should be in the pedal trav of the vehicle, and it bites absolutely perfectly. Clutch then goes through to a Honda 6-speed gearbox, which is, you know, it's a simply brilliant gearbox. Quality of gear change is second to none. It's got a wonderful actuation, linkage. The quality of synchromesh is world class. It really is. You know, they're well known for it, and they're, you know, durable to say the least. They last hundreds of thousands of miles. So much so we've never ever touched one, and I hope I'm not tempting fate with that. But that's, you know, generally the case with these gearboxes. But it's the actual actuation. It's just so easy to use the gear change. It's not overly light. It's not lifeless like so many gear changes are, and I can't detect anywhere in it at all, which will be clearly a running theme on this video, hopefully speaking. So in terms of engine, gearbox and clutch, main powertrain of the vehicle, absolutely faultless, as you'd expect and hope. Steering the car tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming through on the steering wheel at all. It feels taut, it feels tight, and I love this generation of CRV because it's the last one which has, you know, I think sort of proper power steering. So it's got the hydraulic steering on it rather than the electric power steering of the later models. So you actually get genuine feel. You can feel the steering wheel squirm in your hand sometimes over, you know, undulating roads, but just it's very precise, nicely weighted, effortless to use, of course. But again, just nowhere in it. I can't feel anything. There's nothing coming back to the steering of the car to suggest that there's anywhere underneath there at all. Likewise, the suspension of the car, very, very well judged by Honda. It corners relatively flat for a car of this type, so you don't get a lot of pitch and roll, you know, which is very unsettling for customers, for passengers in the vehicle. Which means that, you know, corners like this, you know, in some cars you turn and the whole car would kind of keel over. This one, it holds its stance very nicely. Body control mid-corner over bumps is absolutely brilliant. It's very, very clever. But again, what I'm looking out for when I go over bumps, roads like this, which is why I talk about it on this section of road, this is quite a bumpy road, and, you know, if there's any issues relating to suspension components underneath, it would manifest itself on this road. You know, what I'm listening out for really is that just sort of those mechanical noises you occasionally get, which is normally just, you know, fairly innocent stuff, sort of drop links, central roll bar links. They're relatively cheap to fix, but rarely, but it does happen. You know, suspension struts in cars, especially ones driven around cities, you know, they're more expensive quite clearly. But there's nothing, absolutely nothing on this. It feels, you know, cliched but true. It feels absolutely as new to drive. So going at the maximum speed I'm allowed to on the public roads. Just set the cruise control. That's all working perfectly. Pardon me. It's also very quiet in here. What I'm listening out for at these speeds will be kind of wind intrusion, wind hiss or something, which you might get from a, you know, a damaged seal in a windscreen or sunroof or door. But this is as quiet as they're meant to be, and you know, they are a very, very refined car on the move. Brake pedal, nice solid brake pedal. There's no vibrations or pulsing coming back to the brake pedal at all. All in, again, very, very good order. Looking around inside the car, you know, these are really nice cars to drive. The driving position is dead straight and true. There's no silly nonsense with having your feet pointed one way, hands the other, and, you know, can't abide that. It's very, very natural driving position. Obviously, you've got electric drivers, seat adjustments, so you've got a multitude of adjustments you can make to get yourself truly comfortable, but they are a very comfortable, well bolstered seat. The actual dashboard, its simplicity itself, it's got loads of equipment, but it's not daunting in any way for anybody who doesn't like kind of overly high-tech interiors. You know, it's got all the gizmos you want, you know, the sat-nav, rear parking cameras are all working beautifully and perfectly, but they're sighted very cleverly in the car, you know, nice and high up, so you're not having to look down too far into the dash to take your eyes off the road for any length of time. All very simple to operate, all sort of touch screen. You know, it said it all works exactly as it's intended to. You know, they're very, very well made cars as well, but the interior, you know, befits the mileage of the car, really. You know, there's anywhere is absolutely minuscule inside. It's a wonderful, wonderful car. Climate control system's working perfectly. Air conditioning's pumping out lovely cold air. Heated seats, I've had them on, I've checked those working. They're working exactly as they should as well. Then coming across the main binnacle of the vehicle, standard Honda fare, nice, simple, symmetrical dials, giving you all the information you actually want without overcomplicating it. All the pixelation of the digital readout for the information displays working perfectly. obviously we've got auto lights, auto wipers again. Wipers, they work exactly as they should as well. Everything just feels pretty much as new. It really does. It's very, very hard to describe in the video just how taut and tight the car does feel, but trust me, it really does. Just finally, just going on to the obviously these are four-wheel drive cars, or when they want to be. It's a brilliantly clever system. Honda worked out very quickly that most people, when they drive on these kinds of cars, that are actually driving on just normal roads in normal conditions. And what's the point in having four-wheel drive running when you don't really need it? All you're doing there is wasting fuel, chewing up your tyres, and putting a lot of mechanical wear on the car when it doesn't really need it. So what this car does, there's no switches to activate it, you do nothing at all. And I've used these cars many times for towing a fairly hefty caravan across some pretty soggy pitches, so that's why I need them. And all you do, you basically put your foot down to go away. Okay, you might lose grip with the front wheels, starts to spin, then automatically it's a bit like someone just shoving you in the back. The rear wheels engage smoothly, seamlessly, and it just pushes you forward. And once it's decided you've stopped spinning your wheels, it deactivates it pretty much straight away. And the clever part is how simple it is and how reliable it is, because we've never touched one, and they are absolutely bulletproof, and we've sold thousands of these things now. And that's why it's reliable, is because it's just not been used the whole time. But as I said, in essence, the video was just to give you a look at the car, the drive of the car. And as I said, in many of my previous videos, if there's been something amiss, I have let people know. There's nothing wrong. The car drives absolutely beautifully. As I said, as you'd expect, but it really does. Clearly, if I've missed anything on the video, please don't hesitate. Do give me a call, and I'll happily answer any questions you might have about the vehicle.